How's everyone out there doing today? I am super excited to be here. I say I'm super excited all the time, but believe it or not, I really am. Like, I just love life. And as we're talking about life as a project, your life should be amazing. Your life should be exciting and it should not be boring, right? So when people are like, oh my gosh, project management is a life skill, that's gonna be so boring. And I'm like, really? I find out like one of the most exciting things in the world. So I'm probably a little bit crazy, and that is okay. Today we are going to be talking about scope management. Why does scope management matter? And we're going to be relating this back to we've talked about dreams, we've talked about goals, we've talked about positivity, and now scope management might bring you down like a little bit. So if you do feel a little down, go last week, watch positivity because you have to be constantly thinking that positive outcome that it's going to happen. So let's get right into a project scope. What does that mean? And it might sound intimidating to people who aren't project managers, but it's really, really super simple. It is three things and it applies to almost every single aspect of your life, every single aspect of work. It is so super relevant. And the first thing is time. Time is your most precious resource. Why are you spending time right now watching this video? Because you're getting value out of it, right? It's not going to keep scrolling. You're going to learn something else. It matters so much. So you really have to decide how much time you're willing to spend into it, whether it is a work project, whether it is a project in your house, whether it is a project in your life. I know people who spend 5 minutes on dinner. I know people who spend 2 hours on dinner. How much does that food matter to you? Are you a foodie? And then let's talk about cost. Maybe you're not willing to make dinner. Maybe what you like to do is eat out. I mean, who doesn't like to eat out, right? But once again, cost can be so super expensive. In DC recently had restaurant week, and I went out I think every single night because you could get these amazing, amazing meals at like 3, 4, 5-star restaurants for about half the price, fraction of the price. And sometimes it's a chance to try a restaurant that I may not otherwise ever be able to afford. So super great opportunity. So you need to look at the cost. How much are you willing to spend on something? And that value, that is your value. I was watching some YouTubers when I was trying to set up my lighting. I think my lighting's getting better. I'm playing with it every week. So hopefully people go in their comments if they like what I'm doing or not. But I will say I am not spending $600 on a light. I just can't afford that right now in my budget with everything else that I have going on. So everybody has to decide what is right for them. Do you want the $600 light? What are you doing for a microphone out there, etc.? So there's a lot of times a lower budget option that you can go with. But on the other hand, if you can afford everything, go ahead, do the cost. It is up to you. And that relates directly to the next, which is the quality, right? So can you still get a same or similar quality if you're cutting time and you're cutting out the budget? And that's a really big question because a lot of times you're like, okay, I'm going to sacrifice, sound quality because I cannot afford the more expensive microphone, or maybe it's video quality because you can't afford the really expensive camera. So what is the compromise points that you're willing to make and those sorts of things? And what's a compromise points in life? Because some people, they don't really care about the food that they're eating, right? For them, opening up a bag of Tostitos and having some salsa with it, that's dinner. And that is okay. That is okay if that's what you want to do. For other people, they want to prepare an entire like gourmet meal. They want everything to be perfect. And that is okay too. It is up to you to decide, how much time are you willing to spend on somebody? Somebody, no, you should not be spending, but how much time are you willing to spend with somebody? That's great. How much time are you willing to spend on something? That's a super great question. The other thing is going to be the cost. How much does it cost you? How much money are you willing to invest? And don't just think of the upfront money, but also what is the opportunity cost? What could you be investing in instead of where you're putting that money? And that goes for time as well. And then the third thing is the quality. What is the quality that you're willing to accept? Some things people are like non-negotiable. They're where they're like, I don't care. This is worth the time. This is worth the money to me. Other things, maybe it doesn't matter a whole lot. I know for me, one of the things that I've decided recently is I really needed to get more serious about investing in my business and taking it more seriously as a business. And I've watched so many different people on YouTube, on Facebook, on all the different social media on how they're doing these things. And, I've been like, okay, I need to do that. It is worth it to me. But where do I put it in that triple constraint? And then taking it back to 2 weeks ago when we talked about goals. setting measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound goals, right? So all these things that we're going to be talking about ties together. If you want to check me out on my webpage at amyshamilton.com, I have some different templates you can download. There are so many people out there right now talking about project management as life skills. Definitely check them out, because you know what? It is all about making sure that you are organized. You can reach your goals, and you can do that if you're looking at the scope of your projects. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is communication. And communication is a super important aspect of project management. And I know a lot of people who tell me, oh, well, leadership is not part of project management. Communication is not part of project management. It absolutely is part of project management. You need those skills. And once again, positivity, number one thing about having a positive outcome. So I am looking forward to talking to you guys next week. We're going to be talking all things communications. Thank you so much for your time. I love you. Please like, please subscribe, please help me out. We're all in this together. Thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy your